Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird here with an on-time Dr. Stillman. I am somewhere near Miami Beach, and Dr. Stillman, it's interesting being here. It's kind of like I've been here plenty of times before. I've been to South Beach plenty of times, and it's interesting. It's almost like being in New York. Nobody smiles, nobody makes eye contact.
Yeah, they're miserable.
Everyone is just the only people that talk to you, the homeless people, and they're trying to get something from you. Some of them are actually. There's a really nice homeless lady that talked to me and petted Rommel. Half the people are like jumping across the street when they see Rommel, and then of course everybody.
Really, is it that bad? They're that afraid of him?
Yeah. These cute little things in yoga pants that are walking these little yappy dogs. They like pick the dog up like Rommel's going to eat them. And it's really funny. And the funny thing is,
if I were Rommel,
I'll
I
make
would at least
because
think
the sidewalk,
about eating those little dogs.
Well, the sidewalks are really narrow, so I'll make Rommel sit so they can go by, because I'm polite like that. And of course, Rommel just sits there and like shakes his head and wags his tail, and those dogs are like, ah! So it's really funny. But it's everything I want to get away from. I've been all over the world. Acapulco, everyone says, hello. You say hi to them. They say hi to you. They smile. Same with Nicaragua. Here, it's just like it's a twilight zone. People are wearing masks. People are covered up at 8 o'clock in the morning. They've got hats on and long sleeve shirts. It's like, really. So
listen, man, some people really have checked out of reality. They're down for the 15-minute city. You'll own nothing and be happy, lifestyle.
I know, and I'm so over it.
But for those of you who don't want to,
that's why you need to get on our email list.
Yeah, right.
Because
those of you who don't want to live that life, we're going to help you.
Yeah, we want you to be happy, healthy, and free, and part of that is getting on our email list for our. We talked about this yesterday on the call. About how we actually are doing classes, like legitimate lessons and classes with no hard sales pitch. Because I think a lot of people, they hear masterclass or they hear webinar and they think, oh, they're going to try and sell me something. If you want to work with us, great. We'd love to help you. But we also want to help give you the information you need to be a strong, independent human. So just get on the email list. You can go right to stillmanwellness.com. The pop-up, if you want to learn more about the fundamentals of wellness, the pop-up will give you a sales sequence for the fundamentals of wellness. And if you want to go straight into the email list, the form application on the website will take you to that. And you'll get an email every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This week, because it's Thanksgiving, we're not doing a masterclass / lesson. So we're sending you one of Dr. Stillman's oldies, but a goodie. Well, not oldie. It's only a couple weeks old. We're sending you the replay of the Iron Overload one you did, like I think it was last time or two times ago,
2 weeks ago, something like that.
So we're sending that out. So thank you for the whoever liked that. But on to today's topic. I don't know if it'll be exactly 5, but easy steps to overcome a dopamine addiction. And the biggest problem with dopamine in our modern world is it's so easy. You can scroll through the phone and get all the dopamine in the world. I think it's like Jordan Peterson talked about how the average 14-year-old boy has seen more beautiful women than King Saul or King David or
or King Solomon
some of the old emperors of old who had partooketh in all sorts of bounty, have seen more on their phone than these rulers of old. And so this easy dopamine where you're not having to actually work for it, the problem is that it's so easy and it's so prevalent and so often that you have to keep upping the ante, right? And so you need to do things like get into the sun to reset that, and you need a dopamine detox where you're toning it down so you're not getting overstimulated all the time.
Well, the way we explain it to people is basically you got 2 ways to get your dopamine in a sense. You can either step on the gas pedal to make the dopamine come into the engine, or you can increase the amount of gasoline in the tank and in the fuel line. And so a lot of people get their dopamine by just hitting that gas pedal over and over and over and over again. And then they run out of dopamine. So they got to step on that gas pedal even harder. If you've ever been driving a car when it was like the engine was really losing it, when the engine was about to stop, you know that you have to press harder and harder on the gas pedal in order to get the same amount of momentum or power out of the engine, right? And so that's what a lot of people are doing with their smartphone. They're doing it with their laptops, their tablets, their tech devices. They're doing it with all kinds of different things in life, from exercise to skydiving to their career, their job. And so people need to realize that you need to spend time and you need to take care to fuel the dopamine that you are using with all this stuff. And a big part of the addiction piece comes in when people don't create the right brain patterns. They don't have the right brain chemistry. They don't have the right nutrition. It's harder and harder and harder to withstand the onslaught of easy dopamine in the environment that Jim was talking about.
Would it be a combination of not necessarily running out of dopamine, but becoming desensitized to it?
Well, the stimuli, you know what? I'm not a specialist in that. And I really don't want to, put my foot in my mouth.
We get what you're trying to say, though.
But, functionally, this is very simple, right? And this is why you and I don't tend to get too deep into the weeds on the neuroscience, because it becomes somewhat irrelevant. Is it nice to know all these facts and all these cool papers? That's great. But that doesn't actually help you, the listener, the person listening to this, get better and stay well for as long as possible, as efficiently as possible. And so at the end of the day, we really focus on, okay, and this is what the fundamentals of wellness is really all about. It's why we get such great results in the program for people. But it's very simple. We need to look at the structure of your day. We need to make sure that you're not doing, stupid things that are not obviously stupid. And so we have to help you understand what those things are that are taking your dopamine and creating these addiction problems. And then we need to help structure your day so you have enough rest and rejuvenation so that you can have the nutrition and the vitality in the tank to have optimal, basically, behavior and levels of dopamine, if you want to look at it that way.
There was a great post that I actually shared on my Instagram. I think it's up now. Maybe it's not. The connection here is not that hot, but it was Nick Saban, the coach for Alabama, and he was talking about how life is a series of decisions, and you've got all the things that you know you should do but you don't want to do, right? And then you got all the things that you know you should do that you really want to do, right? And do you have the discipline to do the things you should do that you know you need to do but you don't want to do over the things you shouldn't do or want to do, right? And that's a very interesting concept. And its choice is made daily, and something as simple as going for 3 10-minute walks, or you're getting outside, you're breathing through your nose, you're resting, you're relaxing, you're sensitizing, getting your phone, getting the lights off at night, allowing your body to go into a rest and just reset sort of state. Our modern world just doesn't allow people to go into that silent, quiet state. And when you do want to hit the dopamine, you want to make sure you're working for it, and it's not these constantly scrolling through Instagram, constantly scrolling through YouTube, pornography, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jim, 5 steps. Let's talk about 5 steps, because we really start people with 5 steps. We might as well talk about it, right? So things we start people with are getting an abundance of light, right? So we usually just break that down into 3 10-minute walks a day, because that's really simple and really easy. Then there's drinking high quality spring water. You need the water in order to, people don't realize to what degree their water is poisoning them. We see this in people's labs. We'll see high levels of toxins that can be linked back to the water supply. Fluoride is one of the things that I don't actually have a good way of testing. But fluoride, if you look at the literature, the more fluoride you ingest, the lower your IQ, right? So for my brain, there's no fluoride coming into this system basically anywhere, because I'm so wary of that, and because I love my brain. I really want it to work optimally, right? So we like spring water.
You can thank the Germans for that.
Yeah, we like spring water because it's got the calcium and magnesium in it. And then eating a protein at every meal is key. Most people don't realize they're eating a low protein diet. They're not getting near enough tyrosine. And that lack of tyrosine Tyrosine feeds forward into dopamine. It also feeds forward into thyroid hormone. We see all the time people who are struggling with their fatigue, with their energy, with their mood, with their focus, with their concentration. We ask them what they're eating for protein, and they say, well, I had, a chicken, sausage, like patty this morning for breakfast, and then I had some yogurt for lunch, and then I had a steak for dinner. And we say that's only about 50 or 60 grams of protein max. You need to double that. And they double that and they feel worlds better, right? So by giving the body enough protein, you're also giving it enough amino acids, not amino acids, enough vitamins, enough minerals. So those are the cofactors that are necessary to turn tyrosine into dopamine, right? And also for neurons to respond to dopamine and make it feel or make it work, essentially. Because if your neurons don't work, it doesn't matter how much dopamine there is in the synapse. And then fourth is getting the lights off at night. So blue and green light stimulates wakefulness. That will wear down dopamine stores over time. Huberman, I feel like, has made his brand largely off of this. And, God bless him, because people need that information, that if you're constantly staring into an artificially lit screen and not getting sun outside, you're not triggering the proper, you need the proper stimuli and also the proper rest at night in order to replenish your body's stores of nutrients, including those that make dopamine. And so you need to get the lights off at night and be resting. And we see amazing results from people who just start wearing dark red blue blockers. If you want more on that, go to my Substack. I've got links to my favorite blue blockers there. We appreciate your affiliate purchases. They help us to pump out lots and lots of high quality free content for you guys. So getting the lights off at night, making sure that it's, we're wearing blue blockers and you're not getting blue and green light in your eye. Because I think if there's one thing that really tanks people, it's that late night phone, tablet, TV addiction. And if you are wearing blue blockers, that is almost certainly not going to be the problem that it is now, because you can't see the screen. Everything looks like it's in red scale. It looks really weird. So you don't tend to keep scrolling. And then you'll also naturally get tired. And so you'll say, you know what, I am ready for bed. I'm going to go ahead and put the phone away. And then the last thing is seeking a positive, uplifting, supportive community, which we help people really understand the ins and outs of and the fundamentals of wellness, because we've had so many people who thought they had community, thought they had a happy relationships, marriages, friendships, where they realized, wow, my best friend has got a little touch of narcissistic personality disorder and they're really toxic. Or, I really need to get out of this really sick marriage, and maybe not break it up or end it, but at least get some space for themselves in order to understand, well, what is this relationship supposed to be? And we've had people's chronic illnesses just totally disappear because they went ahead and created that space from toxic people and created the proper community that they needed in order to be healthy and well. And a lot of that has to do with dopamine addiction, because people will actually get addicted to toxic relationships. It's fascinating, but that's why, it's real. It's why, say battered women keep going back to the same guy over and over and over again and saying things like, well, I bet he'll change. They're actually addicted to that. And so it's a very poorly understood phenomenon in the general public, but it is very real, and it's one of the things we help people with. May have lost Jim. I think we lost Jim. All right. Well, listen, everyone, it's been great having you this morning. Take care. Have a great day. Don't forget to get outside, and make sure you're on our email list, where we are pumping out phenomenal content for you that is mostly aimed to educate. We look forward to working with many, if not all of you, at some point. Take care. Again, have a great day. Don't forget to get outside.